Hi all. Uh, Today we will discuss about some of the uh, one of the major thing in cloud infrastructure or in on-premise infrastructure because mostly we are working with application deployment and monitoring that thing. I mean, after we deploy or creating all things, I mean infrastructure. First we set up the infrastructure and then we create the workflow for the application, okay, and we creating some.
Excuse me,
Sorry.
excuse me, excuse me. Sorry for stopping you. I have
Okay.
some questions regarding the NAT gateway.
Okay.
Can I ask now, or if you want me to ask end of the class, I can
Yeah, after end of section we can discuss. Okay.
ask. All right, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, most probably we are working with web servers, web applications, and that type of thing. Okay. So today I will explain because several interviews we are facing some types of questions. Okay. So the questions may be uh, we have one web server. Okay. Like before we installed web server Apache, we installed Apache and we copy the application code and we expose with Apache. But coming to real scenario, that is not a good way because so many attacks happen in our web server directly. For example, someone you know uh, creating some DDoS attack, okay, or DDoS attack, and it's directly attack our web server. I mean the front end web server. So that's not a good way to expose our front end web server to public. Okay. So for example, this is our front end web server. Okay. Apache. Apache 2 is our front end web page. Consider, okay. So our application is abc.com. abc.com. So anyone remotely or remotely anyone request our application like abc.com. This is remote users, okay. So they will get our web content, right? The request is like it's directly coming to our machine, then coming to our web server, Apache web server, and the Apache will route the thing to the corresponding codes. So, for example, this one of the user access our web content using our URL, okay, URL or IP, abc.com. Then it's request to Apache, and Apache knows that there is a request. This request is mostly HTTP, okay, or HTTPS. So web server know there is a HTTP request to for the application, okay. There is an app here. So the Apache will shows the thing, okay, accordingly. So this is not a best way to means here we are exposing our full content. I mean our web server, then our application, okay. So for this scenario, attackers, I mean coming to hackers, they can easily this is considered this is a malicious attacker, okay. Malicious attack or mean a hacker. they can use some tool like DDoS attack. Okay, DDoS attack. DDoS attack is uh, he will, for this case. Okay, this is normal user. Normal user normal user gives a single request to our web server. Okay, I mean using, he need to access this thing. Okay, same like we go to YouTube or yeah, searching in Google. Similar thing, he will go to YouTube and type ABC, then the request coming to our machine, then web server, like that, and they will get the content. So coming to hacker, they are using, or using some techniques like called DDoS, and this will create multiple requests. Okay, same time. So what happened to our server? Here there is only one request. Coming to DDoS, here lot of requests. Okay, like they can set up that things, how many requests at a time. So this may be huge sometime. Okay, so what happened in our server is, our server can't load that much traffic, so it will slowing our server, because that machine can't handle that much of traffic. In cloud they will create some another thing, I mean it auto scaling or anything like that. Got it? I believe you got the scenario, all of you, right?
Yeah, yes. So if the multiple attack comes in, like, what are gonna happen?
Sorry.
Yeah, when the attack comes in, what's gonna happen if the Apache web server is slowing? How to remediate? What's the solution?
Yes, the solution is so many solutions there. For example, like DDoS, we set up something in our web server or in our machine. Like we need to find that request happened through some DDoS attack or anything like that. Because coming, if anyone doing the DDoS attack, most probably the request coming from a single IP, right? I mean the IP of the DDoS attack. So based on that, based on the queries, we can filter out the request, and we can terminate from the host level. I mean this web server is in a easy to mission consider. So there we can filter out the things and using some uh, monitoring tools to find these types of attacking. So many things there to find that is serious or not.
Okay.
Yeah. But their intention, I mean the DDoS attacker intention is to there is so many requests there to hang our machine or to slow down our machine. So this case, any another normal user accessing our thing, okay, at the same time the DDoS happen, they will slow this thing. I mean they can't get the request from our web server. So we can set up the some things. Okay, in real scenario, we are set up our web server like this. Okay, for example, this is our Apache server. Apache web server, and Apache hold our application. Okay, so we didn't directly expose Apache to public. What will we do is we create another web server. Okay, some powerful web server. Here we can choose Nginx. Nginx is one of the common web server for proxy and software load balancer. These are the features of Nginx web server. Okay, so first we configure the Apache, then we configure Nginx. Okay, and what will we do? We didn't, for example, consider these two are in a single machine, okay? Single EC2. Before we configure the EC2 and install the Apache web server, then copy the thing and expose, okay? So how we will expose using the VM IP? I mean, this EC2's IP. This is IP. Consider this is the IP, okay, 192.0.0.0. Then the port number of the specific application. Here, I mean the web server. This Apache web server port is 80. So after VM IP, we need to specify the port number as well. So it knows that the port is used to the Apache web server, so that request directly go to the Apache. And the new scenario, we configure Nginx as well. The Nginx is also a web server like Apache. So when we install Nginx, we need to expose a port like 80. Okay. So the same machine, the port is 80 for both. Don't bother about that. We need to do the thing, I mean the port thing accordingly. And here for Apache, we need to customize the port number. Okay, by default it's AC 80. I mean HTTP 80, but we can edit the Apache port number.
1 minute.
Yeah. Yes. Proceed. Who is that?
Sorry, actually we were not on mute. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay. First we install Apache and we need to edit the port. Okay, by default is 80. And for our case, we will change the port number 80 to our specified port. I mean, in our case, we can change the 80 to 80. Okay. And how we change the port for the web server, I mean Apache. When we install Apache or any software, there is some configuration file for each software. Okay. So first we go to the corresponding configuration file and we can change the thing, okay, accordingly as per our need. Got it? So that's for Apache. Then we install Nginx in the same server. And which IP we will provide to the user? The Nginx IP. I mean the same virtual machine IP and the Nginx port number we will share to the public, I mean the users, okay? So thing is like this. First hitting the request to Nginx server. Okay. Nginx. And Nginx knows that is for the Apache. I mean accessing, we call in Nginx configuration file, we configured all things. I mean if a request here, then it will go to Apache and Apache will share the content. Okay. I mean applications in Apache web server. Got it? This is called proxy. Here Nginx role is proxy. Okay. So it is just the front. I mean, it's Nginx act like the front end here, and the backend is Apache. Backend. So our Apache is, we can say it's much secure comparing to the previous scenario because we now Nginx is behind the Apache, right? Any doubt or confusion?
Just need some clarity here. So you mean to say Apache will be in the background, Nginx will act as the front end, all the hits will come and hit Nginx first.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then internally they'll transmit to Apache and processed and returned back to Nginx and then goes back to the user.
Yes, right.
Cool, I got it.
Assuming,
Yes.
yeah, at this time when suppose that there is I mean you say DDoS attack.
Yes.
Suppose that it happens here, what are gonna happen to the engineers?
Yeah, because Nginx is one of the powerful web servers. So Nginx has some features called proxy, then load balancing. So many things there. Okay, so the Nginx easily find the DDoS and he can terminate the, I mean, that IPs, sort out the IPs from where the DDoS attack happened, and so many things can Nginx find easily. And if any case we need to, for example, if any DDoS attack happen here, we can easily unplug this thing. Okay, I mean the Nginx. Okay, so our Apache is released, right? So this connection break and we can do the something as per our scenario. So many things we can done with this type of scenario. I mean, set up a front end and back end. If anything happen in the front end, we can disconnect the thing. Okay, I mean the front end configuration. So many things we can do with this type of scenario.
Okay, so proxy here or engineers is playing a role of load balancer, or I don't know. Can you explain me that?
Yes, this is not
Right.
proxy. This proxy is called a reverse proxy. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And this Nginx have a software type load balancer actually. Okay. Software type load balancer, not hardware, software type load balancer.
Hey, excuse me.
Yeah.
So Apache has 80 as port number, and Nginx also have the same port number.
Yes.
How
Yeah, we
they
need
are
to change. We will change the port number for Apache. For Apache, we need to change the port number. We will
okay,
change.
but that is HTTP, right? HTTP is 80. The
Yes.
Nginx uses HTTP same.
Yes.
So both can have same port
Same.
number.
That's why we change the port for Apache. For example, here, first we configure Apache, then by default there is 80, right? So after deploying Apache, we go to the configuration file and change the port. Okay. Yeah, that's why I told for every application when you install, there is a configuration file in our Linux system directory. And we go there and by default we can see there 80. So there we can change. Okay, there's option. For example, here
Okay.
we can that's happen in the interview section. Okay, how we change your, for example, you have one web server and by default that port number is 18, and do we need to change the port and how you will do the thing? So many questions I heard, I mean I can see. So the answer is go to the web server configuration file and there is a port.config. Okay, that's a configuration file. The name is ports.config, and we can go open the configuration file. There we can edit the port.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Jay.
So, yeah, quick question. So you mean to say like Nginx is more robust and more secure compared to Apache, right?
Yes.
So if that's the case, then instead of Apache, why can't we use only Nginx? Because instead of two, we can manage with only one. I'm just asking you, like, is it okay to use only Nginx because it's more secure?
Yes. Why we use? You mean why we use Nginx, right, in front end?
No, why? I'm saying like since Nginx is more secure and more robust to Apache,
Yeah, got
so
it.
instead of Apache, we can
Yes.
go with only Nginx, right?
Yes. Again, it's
And if sorry, and if you want to have two websites in any case, then we can have two Nginx as well.
Yeah, the thing here is we need to, this is a scenario, okay, we are following. This is the architecture of our front end. Here, we just say that Nginx is front end and Apache is back end, okay. This is a scenario, but most probably these two web servers are the front end type, okay, because in both servers we can hold our front end application. For example, the front end application means the user's interface, okay, not the database. For here, I am installing my front end application in Apache 2. So the question is why we only use Nginx, why we choose this scenario. This scenario makes more sense because it's create an additional layer of security when we deploy into two servers and route the servers IP, I mean the configuration to Nginx to this Apache 2. And here we are using one technique called reverse proxy. Got it. The reverse proxy, why we use reverse proxy? Because I am using only Nginx and I deploy my application to Nginx, okay? So I couldn't apply the Nginx proxy here. I mean reverse proxy here. Because if we set up the reverse proxy, then we need to choose something. Like here I am choosing the backend server. Got it?
Mhm. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Any confused? Clear, right?
Just one thing, it's not clear. So you said like the Nginx is a front end that will act as proxy, but the term reverse proxy, this is something confusing to me.
You mean here, right?
Yeah, reverse proxy. So you said like Nginx is proxy, but what is proxy?
Yeah, for example, first the reverse proxy will get the request from the end users. I mean here, okay, where my mouse. Yeah, from here, the reverse, first they got the request. So the reverse proxy send the approach-based request to the backend server. Got it?
Got it.
So here we can say we got some additional secure and additional control, smooth
Fine,
workflow,
sir. I
network
got it.
traffic. Yeah. Between
Got you.
these,
Okay, sir.
yeah, these two servers. I mean web servers.
And
Got it? So quickly we can go for a lab, right?
yeah.
Okay, fine. I'm choosing Ubuntu here. Choosing existing pump key. Choosing my own network VPC. Public. And enable public IP. Here I am adding two ports. I mean enabling two ports. Okay. One is for 8080. And one is for HTTP 480. My username is Ubuntu and I am changing my IP. Hit enter. Yes. Okay, now I got my Ubuntu machine. Just change the host name to web server. So I need to update the package, update. Everyone can see my terminal, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It's updated the thing. Okay, everything is fine. Then the first step here, we need to install Apache, right? So here I am using Apache 2, okay. So apt install Apache 2. Before we configure AWS Linux, right? EC2 Amazon Linux machine. For Amazon machine, Apache is HTTP, okay. Hit enter. Yes. Yes, now installed. And check with the IP. Copy the IP.
What was the command? apt install Apache 2, right?
Yes. So here my Apache is running. Okay, this is my Apache web server. It works. Okay, that's fine. Then the next thing is we need to configure the thing. Okay, I mean by default it's running on port 80. So we need to change accordingly, because in this machine we deploy coming I mean after Apache we need to deploy the Nginx as well. So where all applications packages, I mean when we install anything, okay, here I am install Apache 2. So where I can find, I mean which directory should I look for the configuration? I mean I'm asking you. My screen is visible, right? I mean the terminal.
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Yeah, the screen is visible.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm asking you where we find our
Your home directory.
no, I'm asking about the configuration files, not going to the
etc.
yes, right. First we go to etc. There inside the etc we got, I mean we will get the Apache related thing. Okay. So first go to Apache cd etc. So now I am switching etc directory. Okay. You can see now root at web server, then etc, right? So type ls to find what are the things there. So this much of corresponding files or directory belongs to etc. So here I think our application, I mean Apache is detailed there. So that's name is Apache 2. You see the first Apache 2. So just switch to Apache 2. Again cd Apache 2. Hit enter. Now we are in Apache 2, right? Again ls. These are the things under Apache 2. Apache 2 config available, config enable, envar, magic, modification available, I mean mod available, mod enabled, ports.config, and site available, then site enabled. These are the things under the Apache configuration. Okay. So here we need to change the, I mean the port number, right? So what will we do? We just open the port.config with any editor, I mean text editor, then change our required port accordingly. Got it? So I am opening with nano. If this port.config, I mean the conf files are that types of you can name after any functions. Okay, here are so many things like apache.config. These are all files. Okay, I mean the configuration files. And the blue tick you can see config, envar, magic, that's all are white mark, right? All white marked are configuration files and blues are directory. I'm just using nano ports.conf. Hit enter. Yes. Here we can see what are the ports listening for this web server. The listen ports here is 80. You can see, right? This 80. Got it? Any doubt? So here what we will do? We need to change the listening port, because this web server, Apache 2 web server is listening port number 80 by default. That's here we
Yeah.
here in conference file all things are specified. Okay. So we just go there and change the port. That's all. Here I'm changing my port to 8080. That's all. Okay. Now after this, after we edit the configuration file and we just restart the Apache server, then Apache server know my recorded listening port is changed that 80 to 8080. Got it?
But
Control
I
X.
specified as port. So I think it will only listen.
Your sound is not.
While you were creating instance, I see you selected TCP port. This Apache TCP will be listening only on 88.
I'm not getting your question.
So
When I
on this
creating, yeah, TCP port, I mean the protocol TCP and I enable 8080, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that's custom port. I mean, coming to each services, for example, SSH, okay, we are now using SSH service. I mean, this is a service, okay, and for that SSH, there is some default port, okay, 22. That's a global ports number, okay. We couldn't change that thing. And now after for custom port, I am choosing the TCP protocol. There is two types of protocol, okay. The one is TCP and one is UDP. So I'm just using the protocol type, okay. That is TCP and the port is my defined port. I mean my custom port that I am choosing 8080. That's all. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, here you can see for Apache. Yes. Here go to security group. Yes, here your question is for TCP, right? And 8080. Why didn't we choose HTTP? That's the question, right?
Correct.
Yeah, here we can custom our IPs, no issue, because our main thing is just to use our IP, okay? You don't bother about the port. So coming to ports, there is some services there. These are the service, for example, one of SSHs, SNTP is another service, DNS is another service, HTTP is another, POP3 is another, IMAP is another, LDAP is another, HTTPS is another. So by default, here they listed some common services and they allocate the default port number to each services. That's all. For example, port number 80 is for web application deployment and the thing is HTTP, okay. But don't worry about the HTTP here. If we choose a custom IP, our thing is here, you can see, I'm just to copy the IP, okay. Copy the IP. And just to paste the IP. Here I didn't mention the port, okay. Just enter. Yeah, we can get my content here, no issue. Got it. Here I didn't mention the port number, okay. So coming to here, I am just change, okay. Listening port to 80 to 8080. And I just copy paste. I'm not copy paste, just save and exit. Yes. And now in my port configuration file of my web server, Apache web server, and I change the port number, listening port number to 80 to 8080. Got it. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now we need to do something like there is another file that is called under Apache 2. There is another directory called site available. Then in site available, there is another configuration file. I mean, one default file. Okay. Site available means there we edit our application code and related thing there. I mean, for example, we need to deploy multiple application in single web server. So that scenario, we need to edit all things accordingly. In our site available, you can see ls. Yeah, you see sites available. So go the site available directory. There we edit some multiple application. Okay, for example, I have 2 application and I need to deploy that 2 application to single web server. So in that case, we can edit the applications and application name, then the application format, so many things we can edit under site available directory. There is some default, I can see the cd sites available. Here ls, you can see there is 2 configuration file. One is default 000 default config and one is default ssl.config. ssl.config is based on SSL certificate. Now we are open the 00 default configuration file. Okay. 0 cd nano using nano 000 default .conf. You see, this is my default configuration file. Here also I need to change the port, okay, because you can see that first virtual host is equal to 80. So we need to change that to 8080 as well here. Just two things, okay. First we go to the port and change the port number there. Then we go to the site available, then open our default configuration file and change the port here too. That is 8080. Here, yeah, how you access our thing. Okay, here you can see under server admin webmaster localhost document is var html, and here so many things we can edit accordingly. Now this is our port case, so I change the port number here as well. Just to go right and exit. Yes, exit. For this, anyone have any doubt? I mean, these two's configuration. Clear?
One quick question. This is not on the instance, but
Your voice again.
how to save file in Nano? What command you use?
Control
To
X,
save
Control X. Then Y, then hit enter.
okay.
Yeah, when we hitting Control X inside Nano, it will show, ask us to, we need to save this file, yes or no. That's why we just hitting Y. Yes, we need to save the new file. Then we can hit enter to get out of the file. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So I will show something, port number 8080. Okay. You see, now I am calling my web server Apache with the port number 8080. But here the problem is here by default the 80 is working. Okay, just hitting 80. Now it's load. Okay, my requirement is to load this thing with the 80. So what will we do? We configure all thing, but we need to restart the service. Service restart. Service name is Apache 2. After restart the Apache server, we will get our content with the 80. That's our requirement, right? Service. Oh, sorry, I need to put the Apache first, then restart. Service Apache to restart. Okay, now it's updated. Okay. Then again refresh. Yeah, you see, now it's running on port 80. Got it. Again, I'm calling with 80. It's calling again. Port number 80. Not working, right? So this way we change the port for our, for example, these types of requirement we will get from our, when we are in position. So just to go to the port.config and change the port tick accordingly, then again restart the service. Then open with the corresponding port, we will get the thing. Okay. So our front end is now running with the port number 80. It's fine. I mean, not the front end. I mean, our application is ready. So here we need to set up the Nginx, okay, for reverse proxy. I mean, to secure our application. Not application, securing the full front end application.
Yeah.
With the web server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. Yeah. So now 80, they can't access with a Apache 2 with 80. So they need to use 80. If these hackers uses 80, can they access this Apache 2 web server?
Yes. That's why we configure the proxy, right?
Yeah, we configure, but they know that we can do with
Okay, yeah, got it.
Apache.
I mean, after we configure Nginx, okay, then
Mm-hmm.
they will access with the port number 80, right? To hack our Apache, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your question, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good question. After these things, we need to disable the port number 80. Got it. Otherwise, your question is a good question. Our Apache is exposed. Okay. So after we set up the Nginx, then configure all thing, we will remove the 80. I mean, disable the 80. So the port number is 80. I mean, the Nginx IP and the Nginx port number is 80. When we hitting with that port number, I mean the IP and port number, we will get the Apache instead of Nginx.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. Now I am going to install Nginx in the same machine. apt install. Command is apt install Nginx. That's all. And again, it's prompt like yes or no. Just hit enter. Yes. Okay, Nginx is installed. So systemctl. Nginx is running.
This time you are using a different server, and the same server is Nginx.
Sorry?
Nginx also installed on the same server, right?
Yes, you can see the Nginx
Yeah,
tab
web server.
is
Web
active and running. So we need to configure the Apache things with the Nginx. Okay. So one question. I was expecting you to installing this on different. No. Now I am using my this machine. Okay. Yeah, both scenario we can install these tools. This is a single scenario. I mean, using a single machine. For a different scenario, we can. I mean, to real scenario, we can choose different servers. I mean, for a proxy server, create another virtual machine and install the Nginx to that machine, and we can route the traffic to first hitting the first server, then hitting the reverse proxy will send the traffic to our record port. I mean, record servers, the next server. I mean, this is a single virtual machine scenario. Okay. So coming to the next scenario will be like this. For example, we have two virtual machines. Got it. This is for Nginx. This is for Nginx proxy, and this is for Apache. Here we can first we provide the IP of the Nginx. Okay, IP some like blah, blah, and the port. When they hitting the IP or in the name DNS name, they will first hitting the Nginx. Then Nginx will route the traffic to Apache. This is one more scenario. Here we just using two machines, virtual 1, virtual machine 2. And for our scenario, just I am using single machine, that's all. Single machine, and inside single machine, I am using two web server. And one is Apache and one is Nginx. Got it? Andrew, right? Yeah, good. Then we can good to go to our machine. Okay. So here I need to configure something like called unlink. Okay. So tools. Yeah, I'm just install the if config. 10.0.255 loopback is on. Okay. Now I installed Nginx. Okay, I installed Nginx. Installed. Now I just unlink something. Okay, unlink means to disable one of the service from Nginx site enable. Okay, just Nginx unlink and choose the path etc Nginx sites enabled. This is the directory. Okay, I'm choosing going with the each directories enabled. Under enabled, there is one file called default. Hit enter. Now I am using one command called unlink. Okay, unlink the default thing. Okay, I mean there is a configuration file in site enable in the Nginx etc Nginx. After Nginx, there is another directory called site enable. There is a configuration file default. So I just unlink the default configuration file. Then I need to go to the site availabilities. Okay, I mean etc folder, just infinite directory, just type going cd etc ls cd nginx ls. You can see sites available. So I just go to site available cd sites available tender ls. Before I unlink from site enable. Okay, this is site available, and here we need to edit the default nano. Configuration. I leave this thing. We need to create some file. Okay, leave it. So I am creating a file name called config using the nano. Just code, nano code, tender. And some configuration we need to add for the file name code. Okay, just cd this server. I will send the configuration file. Listen. Port number 80. This is for Nginx. Okay, don't confuse. Here the server name is the IP. Okay, IP of our server. What's our IP? Just to go. This is IP. Copy, paste. Only IP, no need to add the URL. After IP, this thing, fine. Then a location. Proxy pass HTTP. The same IP. I'm my IP dot 154 not 154 53 dot 207 dot 178. This is my server IP. Okay, then I need to route that thing, okay, to the proxy server, not the proxy server, our access server. So we need to mention the port number there as well. Port number 8080. 1352. Sorry, 53 207 178. Fine. Then again proxy set header host $. Okay, then close the base. Again, close the bait for server. Okay, this is the configuration file. Okay, I'm just copy. And paste it on chat. Okay, you can save the thing and you just change the which one, the IP, the server name. Server name is our server name is here considered as IP of our server. And for proxy pass, the first proxy pass HTTP is our Apache IP and the port. Okay, make sure these two things, and rest of them is for the proxy purpose. I send it on the chat. You can copy. Okay, guys. So this is fine. Just to copy the content. Okay. Code is there. Okay, fine. So anyone have a doubt regarding the configuration that be done in Nginx site available?
We ultimately copied the configuration into default file, right?
Yes.
Then why did we delink? So we can't edit default without delinking. Is it the reason?
Sorry.
We cannot edit the default file. Is that the reason we first delink and then edit?
You mean the unlink?
Yeah, unlink, yes.
No. I'm unlinked the site enabled directory. Now I am in site available. Both are different.
Okay.
Okay.
So the coding configuration file code is in the chat.
Yes.
But I can't see it.
I will again send to the. Yes, it's for. It's okay. It's for Carl. Wait. Everyone. Okay, I sent it to.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Mistakenly, I delete the file. Okay, sorry. I just go write again. Nano. The file name is here. I'm using code.config. Okay. The extensions must be config. Conf. Tender. Sorry. Code.config. Paste the entire thing there. Exit. Exit. Verify with the cat. Code.conf. Yes, everything is there. Fine. Got it.
Yep, got it.
Okay. Now I need to ln. Yes. And yeah, after configure all things, we need to disable the port number 8080. Otherwise, our Apache is exposed to public, right? So after all configuration, we need to do that thing. That is the another thing to verify. Otherwise, this proxy is not in a full applicable thing. Got it? Anyone have any doubt? Clear, right?
Also, I request you to send this history of commands
Yes.
over the internet or any because it is too small to figure out what it's typing in. Yeah.
Okay. I'll
Okay,
send
thank you.
yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Nginx sites available. Under site available, our configuration file is code.conf. Here I am doing is using ln command. I move the thing, okay? I mean our code.config file to enabled site enabled directory. Now the last thing is we need to test the Nginx, okay, in the command line using the Nginx test, Nginx space text. Here you can see the Nginx, the configuration file etc nginx.config syntax is okay, and the configuration file test is successful, okay. This is the result, okay, after we testing the Nginx, after we configure the file. And after that, we need to test the Nginx. Then the result should be like this. Otherwise, we are facing some issues with the Nginx. The command is Nginx space -t for test purpose. Got it? After all these things, we just restart the Nginx server. Okay. Now I restarted my Nginx. And
the ln command is copy.
Sorry.
The ln command, whatever ln -s, is that to copy or override?
I didn't get you.
ln/s, ln-s.
Oh, this command. I mean the above command, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's for linking. First we unlink the thing, right? First I unlink the the default file from site enabled. You remember that? So now I am linking the thing, okay? This is linking, ln for linking and unlink for unlink. Now I am linking with this thing. I mean the newly configured file. That's my config.file to the site enabled config file. Got it? ln for linking, that's all. Any doubt?
Yeah, I'm good now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now we need to run, copy the IP. Okay, this is the question you asked before because this is my IP. Okay, then hit enter. I got the thing, and again I'm with the calling with the 8080. Okay, hit enter. Yeah, it's running, right? I mean Apache is now I got the request directory from the Apache, right? Because I am using the port 8080. Got it. So this will not good for the scenario because now we didn't proxy anything. We need to block that 8080. Okay. In terminal level, we can block the 80 request. I mean, if any request going to the 80, then it's not, that not share the application content. So we need to ensure that too. So here we didn't go to the Amazon security group and do the thing. Just in command line, we can using IP tables minus I capital input port TCP the port 8080. This is the command for then I think I will provide the IP as well. But not IP J reject change your IP. Okay, here I am using my IP. So after enter this command, hit enter. Now change target machine chart match. IP input. J reject. Yes. I didn't. There's a space after J. 25180 is RNS 8080 TCP port is right. Yeah, make sure the input is capital. Yeah, now it's fine. I'll copy the thing. Use the second one. Okay, first is some mistake. So now I disable the 80 requests in browser, I mean in host level. So again, I am paste my IP. Okay, go to EC2, copy the IP, and again I'm going to browser, paste here, and calling with 8080. Hit enter. You can see, guys, the request blocked, right? Everyone can see, right? You following? Are you following?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes.
Basically, with IP tables command, you blocked 8080 port here.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. Now we can say our Apache is now safe. Okay. There is no direct connection to Apache. Got it. Now I am calling with the Nginx. You can see the port number and the IP is now with the. Now I am calling Nginx IP and port. Okay. And I can see the Apache content here. Got it.
So, sir, for Nginx, you're giving the port as 80, is it?
No. 80.
80, yeah, 80.
Yeah. And we need to we can verify, okay, because from which server will serving the content, we can use the curl command to verify that is correct coming from the corresponding server or not. Just using any third party command line or anything, we can easily find the thing.
So there will be only one backend server or multiple backend servers?
Here my backend is Apache. So now I am using the which command I will show a portion. Yeah, here I can use curl, okay, curling my IP. This is a command to verify from which server it's providing. I mean 13. My IP is 13.207.178. Oh, I need to mention the port as well. This is PowerShell has some permission issue and thing. Copy, go to CMD. Okay, just hit enter. You see server Nginx and the machine Ubuntu. Got it.
Yeah.
My web server is Nginx now. And my content is belongs to Apache. This way we will do the reverse proxy in with web server Nginx.
Just one more question, sir.
Yes.
So, sir, since we have blocked the port 8080, how would the Nginx interact with Apache Rally?
Yeah, in configurations, we write the configuration. I mean the config dot. I mean the code dot config. Inside the code dot config, we will mention the our record machine. I mean, for example, in our case, in our case, First, I edit the code.config in Nginx configuration file, right? There's
Yes.
a configuration file, and in that file, I mention my machine IP and port number. I mean, for example,
that was for
yeah.
Nginx.
Yeah, Nginx, right?
Yeah.
So the Nginx knows that someone listening from port number 8080, I mean, in server, I mean the web server port 80, the request goes to the port number 8080. Got it. In Nginx file, I mentioned all things of the port number of the Apache server. This is Apache. And
Yeah.
this is Nginx. This is not the, this is config file, okay? The config file name is code.config. Code.config.
Okay.
In code.config, I mentioned the IP. IP plus port of my Apache. Here Apache, these two are belongs to single machine. Okay, don't confuse that. So both are sharing the same IP. So leave that. But the Nginx
Okay.
knows the IP of web server, and we
Apache.
mentioned the port
Okay,
number
okay.
as well. Okay. So it's
I
routing
got it.
to the port, right? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that I was getting confused because I see the same IP for Nginx, I see the same IP for Apache, and I was thinking, like, how it's going to go? But yes, they are using the same machine, so IP will be the same. I got it.
Yeah. Yes, got it.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And anyone have any doubt? Because time is going up. Yeah.
Sir, regarding the last class, I had also the same issue. The same issue like the George. I think he has also the same issue for the subnet. But the thing is, in the first class when we were giving the subnet, so the time in my case, like I was trying to give. You said 10.0.0./24 in the first class. So I was trying to give 24, but it was not coming. So I asked you the time, the 16, I can take the 16. You said, yes, you can take the 16. So that time I took the 16. That's the reason I think now it's, the 24 is not accepting now. So what should I do now?
You delete the subnet. I mean, the first created public subnet and create another one with the corresponding, I mean, the right IP ranges. For example, in a previous case, I don't know the name of the candidate. I mean, for example, the symbol logic, okay? This is my VPC.
Okay.
And I am providing VPC some IPs, okay? Some IP ranges. Why we choose the IP? Because the IP provides the IP address provides so many IPs. I mean, host IPs for us. For example, just consider in my VPC can hold 100 apples. Okay.
Right.
So my VPC have 100 apples. So this VPC, consider this is a mother. Okay. Mother have some their son. There is two son. One is subnet 1 and consider one is subnet 2. This is their another son. So she would like to share the apple to. For example, son asks, I need 50. Okay. So what will we do? 50 to this subnet. This one asks, I need 100. Okay. So how we can share the 100 apples to this son? Because only we have 50 more, right? 50 left here. In the mother hand, there is only 50 apples there. So we need to give accordingly. That's all. Only give if we ask 100 IP, 100 apples, then we couldn't fulfill the requirement because we didn't have that much of apples, right? So first we need to divide each one. Okay. In your case or the previous case, the mother gave full apples to this one. Okay. This is public. First they create a public subnet and give all the apples to this guy. So then we create another subnet and we ask for some IPs. Got it. But here there is no IP, only 0. Then how they treat us? That's why we provide that the subnet is 24 is enough when the subnet tier for 16. In case VPC subnet is not net mask is 16, then we can create with the 24 is enough, because each subnet have 250 IPs, I think 254 IPs. And for this is around 65,000, something like that. That much IP for our VPC. And we can create as per our requirement, we can create multiple subnet for this single VPC if we choose 24. This way we divide. Okay, so you can in this case you just verify your IP, I mean VPC IP, and go to the subnet that belongs to the corresponding VPC and ensure that the net mask is, check the net mask. Okay, and if we provide the same net mask of the VPC, then we can assume that the full subnet, I mean the full IPs belongs to single subnet. We couldn't create another one. So in that case, we need to create another subnet for the same VPC. First, we need to delete the public subnet.
We cannot edit.
No. I don't think so. We couldn't edit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try, and I'll if any problem, then I'll
ping me.
Send you the message. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Okay. Then if you don't have any doubt, then we can wind up the class. The time is there is too late, I think. Everything's good, right?
Yeah, please send the history of comments, okay? Please don't forget.
Which one? Yes,
History
for that. Right. I will send.
Yeah.
Yeah, first you copy the comments from the chat, okay? There is
I did that.
Yes, send 3 comments and leave the second last comment, okay? I iterate this command again.
Okay.
So the 2 comments I share with you. Then the rest of them is to installing and some configuration file I will send to.
Okay, thank you.
Then shall we wind up or?
Yeah.
Yeah, then okay. Then I will send the task, okay, based on the lab now or after some time. Yeah. Yeah, okay, then bye then.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Have a good one. Good night, everyone.